Okay, so I wanted to do a little disc golf philosophy video, and this is in response to Big John from Go Ham uh, in his battle of the mid-ranges. And it's really an appreciation of that, having another person willing to discuss what disc they like, review disc for people, for beginners. And I've only been playing a couple of years, and I'm intermediate to maybe play advanced in some tournaments. But I really see a big difference in people's bags and kind of the philosophy of how to play disc golf and to approach the game itself. This video might not be for you, and I'm not going to tell people how to throw or how to putt. I'm nowhere. There's many of those videos out there from people much better than me. So I really just wanted to take a look, and I've got two bags here set up. One is my current bag, and one is another bag that with some other discs that I've thrown, and my son's bag really that I've kind of doctored to show what I see a lot of out on the course, and even in other videos. I love to watch people playing disc golf, and when I see them throwing, this is what I see coming out of their bag. So first, I'm gonna kind of start with what I see going on and what I see a lot of maybe beginners doing when you go out and you start buying a lot of disc. And I don't really care what manufacturer you use or the type of disc you throw. It's just more a philosophy of how to approach the game. So first, we look at this bag, and you see high-speed driver, high-speed driver, high-speed driver. Almost the entire bag high-speed driver, and maybe a token fairway driver in there, or a token buzz or rock, and one putter. Some people, when they start to get a little more advanced, and they'll have two or three putters so they can use them in practice and things like that. And I'm not saying that this is a bad way to play golf or how I play golf is better. I know there's a player that Flicks that's been playing for multiple years that I play with quite a bit, and this is what his bag looks like, and he beats me. So it's not that my way is better. It's just a philosophy that I have. And really, it's in response to, I guess, Big John's battle of the mid-ranges, and I'm not sure this was his point, was that one mid-range was better than the other, or that he throws this mid-range primarily and it's only mid-range, as in this case where you have one mid-range, just kind of as a upshot disc, where a lot of the guys that I've learned from, and guys much better than me, they play with a bag kind of set up more the way mine is here. And what you see from my bag is I've got my two main putters that I putt with. One is an older Ion that is it beat in very, very slow, and I'm not saying that it's beat in, but it is a little less stable, and maybe because I picked this one up in the Neutron plastic, and it's much more stable, but not really an Ion video. But I've got three Ions here, two in the older plastic. This one was used primarily for upshots and has a little more beef to it, and then my main putter here and another upshot disc, and then I have an anode, a less stable putter, and it's gonna be understable, and then I've got a way beefy zone for upshots only, and I only putt with my ions. I know I've got five putters here, but I only putt with my ions. And then if you look at my mid ranges, I've got 8 mid ranges here, and the drone will come out of my bag if it's not windy, the Glow Buzz, the Stratus, just certain courses I'll kind of lighten my load here and pull these out. But these are discs that stay in my bag to really play. But each one of these, there are 3 buzzes here. The TI Buzz, which I bought lighter, thinking it was a little more overstable than a regular buzz. But it's found its home in my bag, and the Z Buzz, Crystal Z Buzz, and the Glow Buzz is a little more stable. So it's really a variety of very understable mid-ranges to very overstable mid-ranges. And you're going to see a big difference in my mid-ranges that I carry and my putters being understable to very overstable to my straight ions here. To my drivers are all very similar in what they do and how they act. Their distances may vary, and what I get out of them varies. But I'm really looking for control and playing these mid-ranges, and I'll drive with these mid-ranges on quite a lot of holes, a short hole that I can reach with my mid-range, I'm going to drive with it. And even a long hole where, you know what, my driver is not going to get me there, and I'm not going to do. So I'm going to take my mid-range and I'm going to place it exactly where I want it and throw a second up shot either with my my putters here, you know, slow and controlled game. And that's my approach and my philosophy to the game. So I've got one stable high-speed driver in my bag, and then I have a straight two. This is the same disc, straight high-speed drivers. Really, three of them that are more straight and understable. You know, these are all the same disc. These are the same disc. So I've got, you know, I've got 5 models of drivers in my bag, and 2 of them that I throw primarily, and that would be the Flash and the XLs here. But I carry them in different plastics and different weights. But the tendency is when you're going to pull out your driver, you need a shot that throws consistent for you. And where people that, and I'm not saying you don't need overstable drivers. If you've got the arm to throw 350 and 400, and you can put a Boss or a OS on a bead, just throw it straight, then go with that. You know, I'm saying get out in the field, see what works for you with the disc, and maybe borrow some friends' discs just to say, hey, let me see which one of these works for me, and throw them. But once you find a driver that you can throw straight and control, then, you know, I go with max weight, so I don't have to worry about so much on the stability in a headwind. I find that by having a max weight of the same disc in my bag really helps in the headwind, and I don't have to switch disc. So my philosophy: find some straight throwing drivers, maybe one longer, maybe one shorter. I carry, you know, the XL, the Volt, and a couple of Stalkers. Those are mainly my fairway drivers. I don't really throw high-speed disc that much. So short, controlled game is where I see that you need to be able to throw a big hook or a strong anhyzer. You know, work on your, I guess, throwing with the same motion, getting that down, and using a lot of control and having a wide variety in your short game with your upshots, with your mids and your putters, and let your drivers just fly straight and do the work that they need to do. You don't really need a bag of overstable high speed and understable high speed drivers. I find that for me it just gets me in a lot of trouble, and even though I got to where I could throw these discs and maybe feel like I was throwing with the big arm guys, my scores lowered and kept me competitive with guys that throw much farther than me by playing a controlled game with multiple mid-ranges and putters. Thanks, hope you enjoy.